yourself before you wreck yourself. I think that's how that song used to go. Chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm having to project. I'm having to project. That is for sure. Not because of a microphone issue. I'm having to project because I don't have a whole lot of voice over here. I'm just being honest. I'm having to project. I can feel it, right? You can feel it as a speaker. You're like, normal, doing what it's supposed to be doing, and then you're like, no, this ain't normal. I was noticing my laugh. It's better this morning now that I check it. Ha 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 ha. Not that that's a real laugh, but I was noticing yesterday, like I was laughing at certain points, and it was kind of like squeaky. It was like this squeaky little laugh. I was like, what is that? I've never heard that before. But it was just my voice after coming off of a couple days here, 3 days here in Tennessee, of having an incredible, life-changing, really impactful retreat. It's been just remarkable. And so for those of you that have been with me in person or virtually over the last few days, I just appreciate your grace on my voice this morning as we walk through what is about to be an incredible episode for you. I think you're really going to enjoy today's episode of #RiseAndGrind. That's right. Let's talk about it. Good morning and welcome to #Rise and Grind, the #1 morning show in the world filled with motivation, education, and inspiration. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Club, the club designed to help you unlock your full potential. Each episode is filled with celebrity interviews, inspiring conversations, and the strategies you need to get ahead in your career and your life. So grab your pen and turn up the volume because it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right, today is Friday, September 26th, 2025. Also, my sister's birthday, so shout out to my sister Tina. Happy birthday to you. I believe this is the year that you turn. Let's see, what year? Oh, yeah, this is a big year for you. I guess I won't say it on here, just in case. I know how the ladies can get. But today is a happy birthday to my sister and a big year, that is for sure. Today is also, it's September 26, 2025, and it is 5:30 a.m. somewhere. It is 5:30 a.m. somewhere, I promise. Like Denver, Colorado is probably at 5:30 a.m. right now. There are places all over the United States where it is 5:30 a.m. right now. However, where I am specifically, I am here in Tennessee, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And where I am here specifically in Tennessee, it is not 5:30 a.m. It is 7:30 a.m. That is what time it is here. It is 7:30 a.m. And typically this show, for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, we've always done this show at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. However, there was a peculiar, for lack of a better word, there was a peculiar experience. How you doing, Rebecca Combs? Thanks for being here. How you doing, Carrie Reth? Great to see you. How you doing, Pete Daly? I love it. Would you guys all do me a favor and tag some friends and hit some share buttons? Because I'm on live at 7:30 a.m. Eastern when I'm normally live at 5:30 a.m. Eastern. There's my sister right there. Hi, Tina. Happy birthday to you. I'm normally live at 5:30 a.m. Today it is 7:30 a.m. I'm going to dive into why, but this is not my normal time slot. So if you could tag some friends, hit the share button, I would greatly appreciate it. Good morning, Glenda Watson. This is not a new time. This is a today time, but we'll talk about it. Have you ever had a false awakening? Yes, this is actually a real thing. It's called a false awakening. And here's the definition of it. By definition, a false awakening is a vivid dream in which you believe you have woken up. but you are actually still asleep. It often, what's up, Adam Marburger? It often involves performing mundane morning activities like showering, getting ready for the day, or checking the time before suddenly waking up in your bed again. This is called a false awakening. Well, apparently, there are levels of exhaustion. There are levels of exhaustion in your life where your mind will literally trick you into sleeping longer. I didn't know this. Great morning indeed, Adam. I think I'm going to be showing a picture of you later in the episode, by the way. So apparently there's levels of exhaustion where your mind will literally trick you into sleeping longer. So this morning, I dreamt, check this out. This morning, I dreamt that my alarm went off at 4:20 a.m. That was my dream. And in my dream, I literally got up, I came downstairs in this cabin that I've been in all week. I came downstairs, I grabbed a bottle of water out of the refrigerator, and then I came down to the room that I've been recording in all week. I grabbed a blanket, okay? This is all in my dream this morning. I grabbed a blanket to stay warm. I pulled out my Remarkable tablet like I do every day, this guy right here. I pulled out my Remarkable tablet, and then I read a quote at the top. I read a quote at the top of my Remarkable planner, and the quote at the top of my planner was about mashak, which mashak is the Hebrew verb, which means to anoint, smear with oil, or consecrate. The act of anointing was an ancient ritual used to set people or objects apart for a special, divinely sanctioned purpose. And I had heard this word the day before because Tim Story was here at our event in Tennessee, and Tim Story had shared this word with us. And Tim Story talked about how we want to be close enough to people to where we can be like Mashak. We can rub off on them, right? We can rub off on them. To transfer or to rub off on. So yesterday, Tim Story taught us that. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was just an amazing experience. And so Tim Story talked about that. And in my dream, I read the quote, right? So follow me here. In my dream, my alarm goes off. It's 4:20 a.m. In my dream, I walk down the stairs in the cabin. I grab a bottle of water. I put the blanket on me. I pull out my Remarkable planner. In my dream, I read the quote about Mashak, which is what Tim Story talked about yesterday. Then I wrote my gratitude and goals, like I always do every single day. I wrote all of those things down. Then I opened up my computer, right? I opened up my computer, I wrote my gratitude and goals. Then I wrote the words good morning. Then I wrote out today's episode. Then I built the show in Wirecast. This is all happening in my dream, bro. I built the show in Wirecast. Then I went live at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time in my dream. I delivered an entire episode, said good morning to all the people, did all of that. And it was a good episode, by the way. And then I packed up everything and I went to grab my backpack. And that's when I woke up. And it was 6 o'clock a.m. here in Tennessee. 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. And I was like, whoa. Because what was crazy is it was the same time in the dream as it was like in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those things happened. My alarm did go off at 4:20, but apparently I just went back to sleep at 4:20. But everything happened in the exact same timeline, and then I woke up at 6 o'clock. So I got an extra hour and 40 minutes of sleep today, and it was all because of this false awakening, right? This this false awakening, this vivid dream in which you believe you have woken up, but you're actually still asleep. And these false awakenings are actually my mind's way of protecting my body. And who is it protecting my body from? I want you to think about it for a second. A false awakening is your mind's way of protecting your body from who? From you, bro. From you. Like my mind was protecting my body from me. Because I am the biggest threat to my existence. You know, we're coming off this AI summit and so many people are like, yo, bro, you know, AI, end of the world, it's the biggest threat to humanity, da 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 da. No, the biggest threat to your existence is you, bro. Sister, the biggest threat to your existence is you. The biggest threat to my legacy, guess who the biggest threat is to my legacy? The biggest threat to my legacy, the biggest threat to me being able to rub off on, right? The biggest threat to that, me, Glenn Lundy. Glenn Lundy is the biggest threat to Glenn Lundy's legacy. Not the economy, not politics, not the administration, not any of those things. The biggest threat to Glenn Lundy's, what's up, Ray, all day? The biggest threat to Glenn Lundy's existence is Glenn Lundy. The biggest threat to my faith, the biggest threat to my finances, the biggest threat to my family, like all of it. No one, how you doing, Paul Brindley? Yes, this is live. Yes, I am live now. It's a whole thing. You're going to have to go back and watch, but yes, I am live right now, 7:42 a.m. Eastern Time, Friday, September 26th. That's where we're at right now. So, but listen, all of it, legacy, finance, faith, career, all of those things, you have to understand. No one can interfere with my future more than I can. And also, no one but me can take me as far as I can go. Listen, I woke up at 6 a.m. today and I realized that the last hour and 40 minutes had all been a dream. The last hour and 40 minutes where I had woken up at 4:20 a.m., walked downstairs, grabbed a bottle of water. Hi, Brooke. The last hour and 40 minutes where I had woken up at 4:20 a.m., walked downstairs, grabbed a bottle of water, grabbed a blanket to throw over my shoulders, wrote or read a quote about massage, rubbing off on others, wrote down my gratitude and goals, wrote down a show, went live on Wirecast, delivered a show. The last hour and 40 minutes from 4:20 a.m. to 6 a.m. this morning, for me, I went through the entire cycle and it was a dream, bro. It was a dream. And when I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, instead of my normal 4:20 a.m. wake up, when I woke up at 6 a.m. and I realized all of that was just a dream, here's the crazy part. I didn't panic. Like normally if I'm late for this show or whatever, I kind of panic a little bit, right? I know there's a lot of people counting on me at 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m. And so normally I panic, right? But what was crazy is this morning I did not panic. I was at complete and utter peace. And here's why. I was at complete and utter peace because over the last 129 days, I have found another gear in my life that I did not know I had. I have seen more cities in the last 129 days than I can count. I have served more people than I have ever served. We moved offices. We have celebrated birthdays. We have whitewater rafted, met new people, had conversations about AI. We have, I've been to Napa Valley, Yountville, Denver, Colorado, like all over the place, just serving people and doing incredible things. Incredible things. And then on top of that, we've had sweet 16 birthdays and 10-year-old birthday parties and all of the things, right? I've read books, I've learned new things, I've invested in things like racehorses and learning about that. I've borrowed and learned more about debt and how that can help my business. I've had nights with little sleep. I've had nights with no sleep at all. I have done shows at crazy times like 2:30 a.m. Pacific time, 3:30 a.m. Mountain time, 4:30 a.m. Central time. I've done life-changing deals in the last 129 days. Like I have achieved in the last 129 days, we have advanced my business more than in the last 2 years. In the last 129 days, my relationship with my wife has grown more than probably in the last 2 years. Like every aspect of my life, more in the last 129 days than the last 2 years. And so this morning I woke up at 6 o'clock instead of 4:20. After having what's called a false awakening, which is a vivid dream in which you believe you have woken up, but you are actually still asleep. I went through the entire morning routine process that I always go through, and it was a dream. But this morning, when I woke up at 6 o'clock, instead of being panicked, I was at peace. Instead of being like, grrr about it, I was grateful, because between me and you, I am grateful to have finally, and I mean finally, finished the boss level. And here's what I mean by that, right? I've finished the boss level and I've unlocked the next one. Do you remember playing Mario Brothers? Right? You remember in Mario Brothers or any video game, right? You play it and 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 you die and you play it and you die and you can't get through a certain level and you like get frustrated and you're like, and you get almost to the end and you almost beat the boss and then you die at the last second and you're like, I can't believe it. And you throw the remote and you're like, I'm never playing this again. And then you go back and then you play it again and then you play it again and then you play it again. And then finally at some point you beat the boss and you're like, yes, I did it. And you beat the boss, bro. You beat the boss. And after you beat the boss, right, there's this new level. And the new level is actually like, well, hello, Liza. You beat the boss. It's a long story, Liza. It's a long story, but go back and watch today's episode. So this morning, for those of you that all jumped in real quick, for a quick recap. So this morning, when I woke up at 6 a.m. instead of 4:20 a.m., after having what's called a false awakening, a vivid dream in which you believe you have woken up, but you actually are still asleep. After going through my entire morning process in a dream, I normally would have woken up panicked. Instead, I woke up grateful, because I can honestly look myself in the mirror and I can say, my mind is literally having to protect me from the new level that I have leaned into. And that, my friends, is freaking awesome, because I have been trying to break through to a new level for a while. And so it was like this relief this morning, like, yes, we got to the level of like, not exhaustion in a negative way, but we've done so much that the mind literally was like, all right. I better step in here and make sure we don't go too far. And I love that. I love that. That moment when you break through to new levels and you can take a deep breath and you can go, okay, all right. I can do hard things. You feel me? I can do hard things. So instead of rushing around this morning, I could have went live at 6. I could have went live at 6 a.m. That's when I actually woke up. I could have went live at 6 a.m. But instead I was like, no, I'm going to grab my bottle of water. I'm going to sit down and write my gratitude and goals. I'm going to sit down and write a good show that adds tons of value to people. So today we're in a little later window. That's great. What an opportunity to catch some of you that never get to catch me live. What a good opportunity to say good morning to Jody Tibbs. A good opportunity to say hello, good morning to Lisa Roos, right? A good opportunity to say good morning to Denny Rust. A good opportunity to say good morning to Matthew Buckler. A good opportunity to say good morning to Terry Collins. A good opportunity to say good morning to Dana Risen. A good opportunity to say good morning to Bella Rigby. I say good morning to her every day, but also today. A good opportunity to say good morning to my boy Ray all day. A good opportunity to say good morning to Brooke Guy. A good opportunity to say good morning to people that I don't normally get the opportunity to say good morning to, right? So instead of rushing into it, why don't we make sure we continue to deliver value? We're just going to deliver it at a different time today. And Monday we'll be right back at 5:30 a.m., right? Right? So listen, I don't know where you're at in your life, and I don't know what you're up against. But I want to tell you, I'm proud of you for all that you have achieved. I really, really am. I'm super proud of you. But you got to remember that in this world that is filled with all these different threats, right? What we consider threats, the biggest threat to your future, the biggest threat to your faith, the biggest threat to your finances, the biggest threat to your family, the biggest threat to all of that is not politics. It's not anything existential. It's not AI, it's nothing. I love you, my man. The biggest threat to your unlocking your full potential is you, bro. You getting comfortable, you getting stuck at a level, you selling yourself short of what you truly are capable of. Because what you're capable of is expansive. So listen, I've been down here in Tennessee and we've been doing all the things for this event. It has been such an incredible event. I mean, everything from sunrise hikes to whitewater rafting to all the different teaching and lessons from Tim's story that were absolutely incredible, lessons from my friend Danelle Delgado, lessons from Tustin Ulrich, lessons from Michael Cirillo, lessons from, where's he at? Lessons from Hardick. He was incredible. Like it was just such an incredibly powerful season, right? Just a powerful 3 days. Not to mention there was bears everywhere, right? Lessons about bears and how bears just run around all over the place out here, right? But Tuesday we started with teaching and lessons, and Wednesday we had the sunrise hike and then more teaching and then the whitewater rafting, and then Thursday we had more teaching, and then we had departures and we had our goodbyes yesterday. We had all of those things, right? And so now it's like, now what? What are these people that came to Tennessee? What are they supposed to do, right? Like Glenn, what happens now that I am inspired? How do I keep from going home and just doing the same? How do I stay out of my own way, right? And so I thought about that this morning, and I was like, man, anybody who was here the last 3 days or anybody who's been who's ever felt that way, where you're just like, man, I'm super inspired, but now like, what are the next steps that I need to do? I'm like, I want to give you that this morning, because I don't want you to invest a bunch of time, effort, and energy in this show or with me, walk away inspired and excited, and then a day, a week, a month later, you're sitting there banging your head against the wall and frustrated because you're still at that same level and you still can't beat the boss man, just like those Mario days. I don't want that for you anymore. I don't want that for you anymore. So listen, I've spent the week here, or invested the week here in Tennessee, surrounded by mountains, music, history, and the most powerful conversations about leadership, growth, and obviously technology like AI. This is the AI Matters Summit. But here's the danger. I don't want this week to become a highlight reel in my memory or for any of the people that were here. I don't want it to just be a highlight reel, right? A highlight reel of something that was talked about but never really lived out. I don't want that. Inspiration without execution fades fast. So today, as we're wrapping up this series here on #RiseAndGrind, I'm just gonna, in the next 3 minutes, I'm literally gonna give you 3 clear, simple things that you can do when you leave this episode or when you leave Tennessee, like most of my guests did yesterday. Just 3 clear, simple things that you can do. This week, we don't want this week, whatever we learn this week, to just stay in this week. It's gotta follow us into next week. It's gotta transform our life moving forward. So here you go, 3 simple things, super quick. All right? Key number 1, walking into next week or walking out of this week, we have to remember that change doesn't start with big moves. It starts with one habit. That's it. One new habit. Maybe for you this week, it's your morning routine, dialing in your morning routine. Maybe it's a family dinner without phones. Maybe that's a new habit that needs to be created in your house, right? Maybe it's that you're going to review your goals every night, not just write your goals in the morning. Maybe it's just one simple, you need to take just one simple step towards whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. Do not try to overhaul everything at once. I know a lot of people are going to come out of this event with so much information. Do not try to overhaul everything at once. It won't work. You'll lose the inspiration and the motivation, and there will be no transformation. Just pick one small habit that reflects what you've learned in the last week, and then anchor it. Protect it. Because daily activity beats intensity every time. Intensity fades, daily habits stick. If you look at the Grand Ole Opry down here in Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry did not become legendary because of one big night. The Grand Ole Opry became legendary because night after night after night after night after night after night after night, people showed up. And see, that's how greatness is built. One note repeated over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes a song. So key number 1, anchor a new daily habit that leads you towards the transformation you are inspired about right now. Number 2, you got to build accountability. You see, you're not going to be able to achieve transformation alone. It's simply not how it works. You simply cannot do it. Left to ourselves, we will drift back to old ways every single time. Like, you need real deal accountability. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a group like 800% Club. Maybe it's just one person you text each week with your progress. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Just make it clear. Just make it really clear. Here's what I'm working on. Here's how I'll know if I'm doing it. Like, accountability is literally the bridge between intention and action. Earlier in the week, we talked about the Tennessee Volunteers, right? How they volunteered to go to war. And the name Tennessee Volunteers, it just came from people stepping up, saying, hey, you can count on me. And that's the thing, leadership works the same way. Don't try to be a lone ranger on this transformation journey that you're on. Find your volunteers, the people that will walk with you, challenge you, and remind you of what matters, and hold yourself accountable. So first and foremost, we got to anchor a new habit. We got to anchor it daily. Second of all, we got to figure out who we're going to partner up with so that we can have accountability in this. And third and last for today, we need to make sure that we measure progress, not perfection. This is a bridge over the Tennessee River right here. This bridge, I don't know if that's over the Tennessee River, but anyways, this bridge, they didn't just build this bridge all at once and drop it in the water. No, there was daily progress that took them years. But each day they just laid the next brick and the next brick and the next brick and the next concrete pylon and so on and so forth, right? And they measured their progress, not perfection. You see, a lot of people give up because they don't see immediate results. A lot of people do. But listen, though progress is not perfection, it is movement. You do not have to master everything overnight. You just have to be further along this month than you were last month. That's it. Like, look for small wins, celebrate the small wins, track the small wins. That's how momentum gets built. The Tennessee River itself that this bridge goes over, right? It didn't carve its way through like overnight. It moved steadily, persistently, reshaping the land like one current at a time. And that's progress. That's how transformation happens. Little by little, one day, the landscape is completely different. You play the level over and over and over again, each time building muscles, getting a little bit better, getting a little bit stronger, until one day you defeat the boss and boom, we have the breakthrough. So listen, as I am leaving Tennessee today, very happily, here in just a couple hours, and as you are leaving Tennessee with me, whether it's virtually or in person, don't let this week just be a highlight in your memory, the mind that can play tricks on you, like including false awakenings, vivid dreams that make you feel like you're up and doing your morning routine when you're actually not. Don't let this week be a highlight in your memory. Anchor one daily habit, build accountability, measure progress. Anchor a daily habit, build accountability, measure progress. If you do those three things, like super, super simple, the inspiration that you have right now from this show, from this week, from this event, whatever it is, the inspiration you felt will turn into transformation. The inspiration felt in here will turn into transformation out there. Let's not let Tennessee stay in Tennessee, though I love Tennessee. Let's carry it home to Kentucky. Let's carry it home to St. Louis. Let's carry it home to New York. Let's carry it home to Canada. Let's carry it home to Texas. Let's carry it home to Colorado. Let's carry it home to Florida. Let's carry it home to North Carolina. Let's carry it home. Let's carry it into our routines. Let's carry it to our families. Let's carry it into our leadership. Let's carry it into our lives, because the real test of this week is not what happened in this building or in this time frame of the last week. No. The real test is what's going to happen when we get back to the normalcy of tomorrow. So listen, I do not want you to be inspired. I don't. I talked about it last week, tired of being inspired. I don't want you to be inspired. I want you to be transformed. Is that fair? I don't want you to be transpired. I want you to be transformed. So let's go. Today's the day. Cindy Ash Baker, thanks for joining us as well. I appreciate you. All of you that joined me today at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Have an amazing day. Have an incredible weekend, and I'll see you next week at 5:30 a.m., I believe, Eastern Time, right here on #RiseAndGrind. Have a great day. Look.